Hi, everyone. Welcome to our webcast today, Exploring Bermuda with Celebrity Cruises. My name's Brian Murray, the Director of Travel here at AAA, and I'm delighted you're spending some time with us today. You know, this COVID-19 pandemic has hit the world so hard, and one of those areas is the travel world. There have been so many disappointed travelers whose spring and summer vacations have been either canceled or postponed. However, we're resilient and we'll get through this pause together. What we want to do today is share some great information about travel. And while we aren't just ready to travel yet, we want to help you dream about the next vacation and inspire you to think about the possibilities. I want to share with you that you're all in listen only mode. However, if you do have any questions, please feel free to type them in the question box and we'll be happy to entertain them at the end of the program. If we don't get to your question, no worries. We'll reach out to you and address your question specifically. I also want to offer to all the participants on the webcast an additional $100 savings per booking for a celebrity cruise booked by the 29th of May. And that would be in addition to any other offers that Celebrity has right now. So let's get going. Really excited about the destination of Bermuda with Celebrity. I would like to welcome Kim Smith, Business Development Manager for Celebrity. Kim, thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thanks, Brian. Fantastic. Yeah, I'm really excited about Bermuda because Bermuda is one of my all-time favorite destinations, and I probably visit Bermuda probably twice a year. I am a cruiser. Obviously, I work for Celebrity Cruise Line, so if I can hop on a ship and it's very convenient for me, I'm in the upstate New York area, I can either hop in my car, take a bus, go down to Bayonne, New Jersey, get on a ship, and head on over to Bermuda and really have a great vacation. So it's really convenient. And I wanted to we'll talk a little bit about Bermuda today. We'll talk a little bit about Celebrity Cruises, and then hopefully we'll have some just good information. We can start dreaming about going to Bermuda when we get through everything, of course. So let's go through, and I want to tell you about Bermuda itself. There's tons of culture, history, charm throughout Bermuda. It is actually a British territory, for those of you who are not aware. It is self-governing with its own laws and its own citizenship. As I said, the history, the culture, the charm throughout the island. Gibbs Hill Lighthouse is one of my favorite places to go. If you want a good workout, all you got to do is walk up those stairs. My goodness, the little lookout point. It is actually a working lighthouse. And as I said, there's tons of different things to do throughout the islands, lots of charm and a ton of history. So we're going to go through a little bit about that. But first, I want to tell you, where is Bermuda? You know, it is an island. It's in the middle of the Atlantic Ocean, of course. It's about 700 miles off the coast of North Carolina. So in your heads, think about North Carolina and go out to the right, about 700 miles. That's where you're going to see Bermuda. It's about average 21 square miles long, so it's not a huge island by any means. So it's pretty convenient. And I think a lot of people confuse it with the Caribbean. And nope, it's about 900 miles from the Caribbean. It's 900 miles north of the Caribbean Sea, so it is very different, and it's not the same type of culture that you would have in the Caribbean versus the island of Bermuda, of course. So we'll go through a little bit of that too. I think really, for me, it's the people of Bermuda that make Bermuda so different and that stand out. There's 65,000 residents in Bermuda. And interestingly enough, there's about 500,000 visitors every year. So as you can imagine, they love us tourists. Most of those visitors are actually coming by cruise ship. So from the months of about, I'd say May, probably early May through September, early September is when the cruise lines are going to be visiting the island. But the people on the island are so friendly. You know, no matter where you go, they're very considerate. They are going out of their way to accommodate you. I was on their public transportation, their bus system one time, and it was funny. The bus was full, so I was standing up, and this young lady, I'd say, you know, a little school age type girl, she said, "Oh, miss, please sit down. Please sit down. You can have my seat." And I said, "Oh, no. And she goes, "Oh, trust me, you need to take my seat. Otherwise, I'm going to get in trouble. We respect our elders here on the island." And I'm thinking, oh, no, I'm old. But, you know, what are you going to do? But I have to say that that's the politeness, and that's what you get. They always are smiling, and they go out of their way for us, which is fabulous. So in Bermuda, one of the reasons I love this island is they always say it's either spring or summer in Bermuda, year round. About average temperature around about 80 degrees during the time frame that we're going to be going there. If you go early May, you're going to have a little bit cooler temperatures, and then getting into the summer months, of course. But I'd say anywhere from 70 to 80, maybe even 85 degrees. I've been there in August, and it's been really hot. But the cool thing about Bermuda is you typically have that ocean breeze because you are in the middle of the ocean, and it's fantastic. Bermuda's known for their pink sand beaches. I'll mention beaches. You know, there's a ton of beaches. If you look up stats on Bermuda, they say there's 34 famous beaches on the island of Bermuda. But guys, there are more beaches than that. You can be on their bus system and decide you just want to hop off and you see a beach, you're welcome to go there. Most of the beaches, except for maybe some of the private homes as well as the hotels, all the other beaches are open to the public. So whenever you see a beach, you want to throw down a towel, hop in the water, you're more than welcome to do so. And boy, that water, oh, I always call it Windex blue. It's so beautiful. Absolutely fantastic. So good old Bermuda. Let's talk about what we can do in Bermuda. If we have any golfers out there, Bermuda is really known for golf. There is more golf per square mile than anywhere else in the world. So my golfers, you're going to absolutely love that. There's anywhere from 9-hole golf courses to 18 holes. They have public golf courses. They have private golf courses, of course. I've actually been there. I saw Tiger Woods there once. During one of the PGA tours, of course, and it's a lot of fun. I mean, if you're into golf, this is really something that you're going to enjoy. Now, I'm not a big golfer, but I'm definitely a miniature golfer, which I'm going to show you a fun little place for you to hit during my Kim's Picks a little bit later on in the presentation. So I always laugh at this because Bermuda shorts. Yes, Bermuda is known for the Bermuda shorts, and guys, this is how the businessmen do dress. They wear those Bermuda shorts with the knee socks and the loafers and their blazers. It could be 85 degrees and you're still going to see these guys walking around the island dressed this way. And I absolutely love it. It makes the island unique. It really sets the tone for what the island feel and the dress of island life is on Bermuda. Remember, I said it's very different than the Caribbean. You're not going to see this in the Caribbean. You're going to, these guys are well dressed and it's a lot of fun to see it. So how are we going to get around the island? Getting around the island is so easy in Bermuda. Probably the safest way to get around the island is taking their bus transportation. Now, guys, these are their public buses. All of their residents are going to be on these buses as well, because in Bermuda, every household is only allowed one vehicle. They can't own more than one car. Cars are very small in Bermuda because the roadways are very narrow and they are single lanes. So it is very interesting. Sometimes those nice narrow roads, you're like, oh my goodness. They do drive on the opposite side. It's British territory, of course. So they're driving on the opposite side than we typically are used to. So it is a little bit interesting to get used to. So I always say, this is probably one of the safest ways to go. Hop on their public transportation system, and you really do get a bird's eye view of the whole entire island when you're taking the motor coach around, which is a lot of fun. There are other ways to get around the island, of course. You can take a ferry. We have a great ferry system, and I'm going to give you some tips on that as well. Mopeds. Now, guys, I don't know if you're into mopeds. That's totally up to you. I'll be honest with you, we do get a lot of cruise ship passengers that come back after a day in Bermuda, and they may have scratches on them and scrapes, and sometimes have a cast on or two because they're not used to driving on the opposite side of the street, and sometimes they have a collision or two. So really, if you're going to rent a moped, one thing I would say is make sure you're very familiar with driving a moped, motorcycle, or are very comfortable driving on the opposite side of the street. Instinctively, we just don't do that naturally, so keep that in mind. They do have these new things that are called mini cars, and guys, these mini cars literally, you can fit 2 passengers in most of them, but one person literally sits behind the other. It's very similar to those mopeds, so same kind of thing. It's totally up to you how much adventure you want while on the island, but The nice thing when you're going on a cruise and you're going around Bermuda is you'll have 3 days to really drive around the island and do whatever you want to do, and whatever touring, golfing, etc. So transportation is important. Transportation pass. Now, this is sort of the good little secret of Bermuda. When we are there, and as I said, we are docked for 2 or 3 days based on your itinerary. Oops, my lovely thing went back. There we go. Transportation passes. We have the transportation passes that include the ferries and all the buses. And, you know, they run the service. It says anywhere from 5:30 in the morning till midnight. Guys, I will say you definitely want to check your schedule. The schedules are available right at the pier when you get off the ship. Definitely check it because like your latest ferry out of Hamilton, if you were in Hamilton getting back to King's Wharf area where the ships are docked, is about 10 p.m. So you want to make sure you're on that ferry, because in Bermuda, if you need to take a taxi, which that is an option, of course, the taxis do only take cash. So if you have a lot of cash on hand, then that's great. If not, you're going to have some problem getting back to the ship. So be mindful of your ferry schedules. Be mindful of your bus schedules. Certainly, you've got lots of different opportunities, but it's very easy. There's certain areas, they're very well designated, very clean. And if you want to buy these transportation passes, you get them right when you get off the ship. They have a 1-day pass of $19 per adult, a 2-day pass, about $31.50 per adult. They do have children's rates too that we can check for you. But it makes it very easy, and it's a hop on, hop off on the ferries and the buses. I talked about the good old taxis, of course. Taxi anyone, again, those friendly taxi drivers, they're a riot. They'll give you a little tour at the same time, tell you all about their life and what they're doing on the island. They're great guys. And, you know, sometimes a taxi, you might want to take a taxi just to save some time. When the ships are pulled into the pier, right, you're going to have a lot of guests getting off. There's usually 2 cruise ships up in the King's Wharf area that are docked at a time. And so all these people are wanting to do the same thing at the same time. So be mindful of those schedules. If you're going to hop on a ferry, make sure that you're going early enough. You don't want to go 10 minutes before. You want to make sure that you're getting there a good half hour to 40 minutes ahead of time, so then you can make sure you're going to be on that ferry. Or getting on the bus. You will have to possibly wait. So make sure you're planning ahead. Taxis, of course, you can get them all over the place. There's many of them that will be available to you. A lot of times I love to go to Horseshoe Bay. I'll hop a taxi. They fit anywhere from 10 to 12 people in those taxis. There'll be a flat rate that they'll discuss and negotiate with you prior to getting there, or prior to getting in the taxi. So it's very easy. And guys, these guys are not hagglers like in some of the Caribbean islands. They pretty much have a flat rate. They're going to tell you exactly how much it costs. But there are some advantages of using the taxi. Obviously, it's going to get you there faster. And then let's say, as I was saying, I was going to Horseshoe Bay. Horseshoe Bay is on the bottom of the hill. So these taxi drivers will take you right down. If I were to take the bus, I'm going to get off the bus and have to walk down the big hill. So, you know, take a look at it and really determine what you want to do each day. So one of my favorite places, there's several different parts of the island, of course, and one of the great areas is good old Hamilton. Hamilton is sort of the downtown area. This is where all the business really happens. There are fabulous museums, there's great restaurants, lots of different shopping venues, everything from A.S. Cooper, which is more of their department store. Flying Colors is a great location. That's sort of more of your t-shirt shops. I probably get a Bermuda sweatshirt every single time I go to Bermuda, or some type of a t-shirt. That's one of the stores that I go to. Whenever I'm going to Bermuda, typically if I'm in downtown Hamilton, I'm going to stop at like the Pickled Onion. It's a great little restaurant, and it's upstairs, as you can maybe see in one of those pictures. So you're, you know, 1 story up, you're overlooking the beautiful waterfront, and it's great. You know, you have a little lunch, you have a little cocktail. There's lots of official cocktails. There's a couple of official cocktails of Bermuda, the Dark and Stormy and the Rum Swizzle, which I'll tell you about as well. So, you know, lots of great things to do. And of course, you know, you want to enjoy that shopping. You are going to notice, and one thing I will bring to your attention, these guys are a little dressed up. It is not the Caribbean. You're not going to wear your cutoff shorts and your bathing suit walking around Bermuda. It is a little bit more proper. You're going to have, you're going to have clothing on. So make sure that you dress appropriately. You don't necessarily have to wear an evening gown running down the street, but make sure that you do dress appropriately. So the ship there is going to take us, and I love this picture. This is actually one of my own little pictures of the good old Celebrity Summit, my favorite ship that goes out of Bayonne, New Jersey. But I wanted to show you really what the island looks like, so you can get an idea of where we dock and all the different areas throughout Bermuda that you can visit. So I'm talking about these buses and the ferries, and you know, if I say we dock in King's Wharf, it's actually Royal Naval Dockyard is where we are. And then as you can see, sort of in the middle there's Hamilton. That's where you're going to find your downtown area per se, that we were talking about the shopping, etc., some great restaurants and things. And then if you look up in the very top right-hand corner, there's St. George's. So really, sort of Kim's picks. If I'm going to Bermuda, when I arrive into the Royal Naval Dockyard at King's Wharf, I am going to probably take a ferry over to St. George's. It's about, I'd say about 45 minutes or so, but via ferry to go from the King's Wharf over to St. George's. And a lot of times I might take a ferry over to Hamilton. It's really the quickest way, as long as the ferry schedules you know, match your schedule, or you might not even have a schedule because you're on vacation. If you want to wing it, go right ahead. The bus transportation, of course, remember the buses are going to be going all through this island. As you can see, there are no real bridges per se. So if I'm in King's Wharf and wanting to take a bus all the way to St. George's, guys, that's going to take some time. So you want to be mindful of that as well. And of course, all of this too, your travel advisor is going to be giving you some tips and tricks, as well as on board the ship, they're going to be giving you some tips and tricks of getting around the island as well. Many people will take shore excursions when going to the island. So they're tours anywhere from a 3-hour tour to a 5-hour historical type tour, if you really want to see every little part of the island, which is really cool. All right, so we're talking about that Royal Naval Dockyard in King's Wharf. There's a lot to do in this area. I love this area because there's, as I said, we were talking about the history and the culture and the charm. Guys, in the left-hand corner, there's a picture here of the Clock Tower Mall. Yes, it's not a mall like you would think of that, you know, at home that we would go to, like a Destiny or whatnot, or a Galleria mall. You're talking more of a smaller mall. In fact, I think I've got a fun little picture here next. Yep, in the left-hand corner. Little shops that you'll be going into. Again, there is the A.S. Cooper. There's a smaller version of their store. There's like a jewelry store. There's some restaurants in there. There's an ice cream place. There's some local artisans that are selling their goods. There's a lot to do in there. When you go into that whole area, when we dock here, you've got water sports available, everything from, you know, parasailing, the jet skis if you want to rent. There's swimming with the dolphins. There's a great little beach and at Snorkel Park that you can go and spend the day on their beach if you like. There's some miniature golf, which I'll talk about in a second as well, but there's plenty of things to do just in that area. For those guests that are getting off the ship and might not be as agile, we do have a hop-on, hop-off trolley that actually takes you around the that Royal Naval Dockyard area. So if anything, you know, you're getting like a little mini tour around that area. So certainly that is something to consider. But there's everything from there's a glass blowing shop, and they'll actually do the live demonstrations for you while you're in there. There is the rum cake factory, and I highly recommend that you go in and you sample those rum cakes. I don't know about you, but I'm one of those people that said, can't make up my mind. I'm gonna have to try the chocolate one. Might need, you know, the coconut one next. Still undecided. Let's give me another sample. So I'll try 3 or 4 different ones before I find one that I actually like. And let me tell you, they are absolutely delicious. If you like rum and you like cake, guess what? That's for you. So as I said, lots of different activities. There is snorkeling. A lot of people ask me about snorkeling and scuba diving. There's snuba diving as well. There is deep sea fishing. So those of you that are into that, lots and lots of water sports. Lots of things to do. They even have this night snorkeling. That's an excursion that you can do, which is a lot of fun. You're going to find there's a lot of shipwrecks and things like that. As you know, the Bermuda you might have heard of the Bermuda Triangle. So there are some shipwrecks out there that you can, when you're doing your snorkeling or your scuba diving, you're going to be coming in encounter with that as well, which is a lot of fun. So, all right, there I am. Hi, that's Kim's Picks now. So I was actually on the steps of St. Peter's Church. That's in actually St. George's. You know, it's actually the oldest church in the Western Hemisphere. Good information. When I'm going to Bermuda, some of the places that I always go to time and time again, and I never get tired of them, over in the St. George's area, as I was just sitting on the St. Peter's Church steps, Crystal Caves. So where can you go, you know, like say, geez, you can't do this in the Caribbean. Crystal Caves is absolutely beautiful. They have a guided tours that'll take you, and there's several different caves that you can go through. Do you want to go through 1, 2, 3 different caves? But guys, this is very, it's well lit. You have some hand railings too, to guide you down, and they'll tell you all about it, how these caves were actually founded. It's a lot of fun, and it's definitely something to take a look at. Then, of course, we were talking earlier about the Horseshoe Bay. Again, one of my favorite beaches to go to. Guys, if you've noticed, all the beaches are those pink sand beaches, of course, in Bermuda. They're fantastic. One of the things about Horseshoe Bay that I like is they have facilities. They have restroom facilities, changing facilities. They have where you can rent umbrellas, you can rent your chairs. They're not inexpensive, I'll tell you that, but it's nice to be able to have that chair and that umbrella on the beach, because certainly it does on a beautiful sunny day, you are going to need some shade. They have restaurant facilities, so, and a bar. I don't know about you, but when I'm on vacation, I like to have my cocktails. So if I wanted that dark and stormy, if I wanted that rum swizzle, whatever I wanted certainly was available to me. So it's one of the beaches that has, it's probably going to be a little more touristy, but you are going to have all the services available to you as well, which is important. And this beach there's a private cove area off to the right-hand side. To the left-hand side, you're going to have a little bit more of the waves. They even have some rock formations that you can climb up, and if you want to jump off the rocks, go right at it. I'm not jumping off of the rocks, but if you want to, go right ahead. Lots of people are doing it. So we talked about St. George's. That was one of the areas that you can go to. St. George's is a quaint little town. Gosh, as we said, that oldest church in the Western Hemisphere, St. Peter's. That's always fun to go through and do a little tour. There's shopping here. I think the last time I was here, I was with Mom, and we ended up going and having lunch at one of the little cafes right out on the water. What a great way to spend the afternoon, just relaxing. There's a lot of culture, as I said earlier. They have this dunking of the wench in the afternoons. They do sort of the town crier comes out and does an address. They have some walking tours, lots of things available. And if you notice how colorful all of the houses are throughout Bermuda, this is one of the things you're going to see. And, you know, the Bermudans actually are required to keep up and maintain the colors of their homes. And they have certain colors that they are allowed to paint, which I always think is fascinating. In St. George's, too, there is a perfume factory. So if you want to you know, sample and come up with a beautiful fragrance of Bermuda, they certainly can help you out there, which is a lot of fun. Okay, so now for my drinkers out there, this is the fun part. You got to go to the Swizzle Inn. It's close. There's 2 locations. There's one that's closer to Hamilton, and there's one that's over in the St. George's area, closer to that area. And guys, this is a lot of fun because they are known for their rum swizzles. That's my favorite drink when I'm going to Bermuda. Now, Mom will tell you she likes the dark and stormy a little bit better, but totally up to you. The dark and stormy is a Gosling's dark rum and a ginger beer. And I know those of you that are on the call, yes, you can get your ginger beer at Wegmans because Mom gets it at Wegmans all the time. You just got to get your Gosling's dark rum, and there you go. You can make these drinks at home as well. But the good old Swizzle Inn, they have a saying that you swizzle in and you swagger out. And let me tell you, those rum swizzles, when you're drinking them, they taste really fruity, and you're like, this is tasty. And you don't think it's affecting you at all. And that's why they say you swagger out, because all of a sudden it hits you and you're like, ooh, that was good. But it's a great little restaurant. It's pub fare. It's a lot of fun. So I always say you have to hit the Swizzle Inn. All right, another little fun thing. I was talking about mini golf. Guys, I think I have never laughed so hard in my entire life going to a miniature golf course. As you can see, look, it's on the water and it is absolutely beautiful. It's in Snorkel Park. When we're docked at the pier, as I was saying, in that Royal Naval Dockyard in Kings Wharf, there is a place called Snorkel Park. Snorkel Park has a beach. They're open at night. They do bonfires. They do all kinds of different things. But they also have this miniature golf park. And let me tell you, one of the reasons why I laugh so hard is because that's a picture of Mom, and Mom and I went and we did this. The first time we did it, we thought, all right, well, let's give it a try. But we went maybe about, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock in the afternoon. We thought, all right, we're going to have a late dinner tonight, so let's go over and play some mini golf. Well, sunset was absolutely gorgeous, and because you're watching the sunset over there on the water, and it was gorgeous. Well, miniature golf becomes glow in the dark miniature golf after the sun goes down. Oh my God, I don't know about you. I've never played glow in the dark miniature golf before. It gets really funny. And of course, there's 3 different courses that you can play at this miniature golf course. And when you go to all 3, they highly recommend that you have a little rum swizzle in between. So your golfing skills, go to hell in a handbasket really quickly. So it's just fun. And we've had a really good time with this. So we always try to do this when we go back to Bermuda each year, sort of nostalgia, and it's a lot of fun. It's a great little thing to do. So the Celebrity is going to take you. That's a great option for you to get to Bermuda. The Celebrity Summit is the ship that would take you over from Bayonne, New Jersey to Bermuda. Right now, our itinerary, you're going to on a 7-day cruise. We go on Sundays, every Sunday. We do have some longer sailings that are available, and certainly we're waiting for the new itineraries to come out, of course, once we get out of our isolation or our suspension, of course, so stay tuned on that. But guys, there's a lot of great things to do. And this ship, this Celebrity Summit that we're going to go through, was totally revolutionized. Basically, we've come out with some newer ships, and what we wanted to do is make sure that we didn't have old ships and new ships. So we've done this total revolution of our ship, the Celebrity Summit, to really make her look more like our Edge class type ships. And you're going to see some fun little pictures throughout here. First, let me just talk to you, though, quickly about our brand. The Celebrity brand really has 5 pillars. We are really proud of the design and the layout of our ships. We've done a fabulous job of trying to really create a different type of experience for everybody. The design of the ships will show, especially with our Edge class ships. We try to take it to the next level every time we go through and build new ships. Our accommodations on board all the ships, we have different types of accommodations, from suites to regular inside, outside, and balcony staterooms. But we have concierge class, and we have this thing called aqua class. So we do try to give you some extra perks and some different options, so you really can make your trip your own. And then, of course, the destinations. We're talking about Bermuda today, but guys, we visit all 7 continents. So you can go pretty much anywhere there's an ocean. We're going to have a ship there to help you out and get you to see all these great places around the world. And then our culinary. We're sort of known as that culinary brand. We have fantastic culinary options on all of our ships. A lot of times they serve me the food and it looks too pretty to eat. I'm like, oh my goodness, how did they do that? But we really do go a step above. We have our James Beard chefs that go out of their way to create menus that will surprise and delight everybody. And then, of course, our service. We love our service on board our ships. Our staff and crew is absolutely amazing. They do an amazing job. We call it sort of aggressive hospitality. We know, or intuitive hospitality. We know what you want about 5 minutes before you knew you even wanted it. They do a lot of great surprise and delights on board the ship. Sometimes if you're on let's say a warm weather sailing and you happen to be out by the pool, they might be coming around with complimentary gelato, or they might want to give you a nice ice cold towel. Little surprise and delight things that a lot of the other brands just don't do, and that's why we are really considered a premium cruise line. So we've done a lot of changing up on the ships, just some pictures. I love to show pictures just so you guys get a little look and feel. We've done a lot, taken our suite class that we've had on the Celebrity Summit, and we really elevated it. We've added outdoor spaces. It's now called our retreat area, anything associated with our suites. So we have outdoor and indoor retreat areas, as well as a private restaurant for our suite guests. I have to show you the good old suites because those are the fancy staterooms that are available to you. This will just give you an idea. Take a look at this beautiful penthouse suite. I think I need this penthouse suite every time I go on board. Unfortunately, they don't give me the penthouse suite, but that's okay. One of these days I'll win the lottery. But seriously, it's very well appointed. They've really done a great job of really modernizing and making it look very similar to more of our edge type style ships. This will give you an idea of our royal suite. Very spacious. You can usually sleep up to 6 guests, which is fantastic. A little bit smaller suites going down. We've got our celebrity suite. This will sleep up to 4 guests, but beautiful. Look at how gorgeous that balcony is. You've got living space as well as private space for bedrooms as well. As I was talking about, you've got your lounges. This is what was formerly known as Michael's Club. This is our interior lounge just for our suite guests. And this, as I said, was called Michael's Club, and now it's called the retreat. So there's going to be, this is the indoor, and then we're going to have an outdoor location as well, which is our retreat sun deck. Private area just for the suite guests. You have your butlers, you've got bartenders, basically anything you want, they're going to go ahead and get you. And they did add a lovely jacuzzi up here in this area too, which gives guests, you know, their own suite guests, their private own jacuzzi, which is fun. So let's talk about a standard stateroom, because guys, this is like, honestly, these are the staterooms that I'm going to stay in, a standard balcony style stateroom. I'm showing you on the left-hand side a picture of the newly renovated. Look what it used to look like over on the right-hand side. Oh my goodness, that is a lot of difference there. That is night and day. So you definitely have, you know, that more modern contemporary look and feel. So keep that in mind. They've done away with the darker colors. Darker colors were a thing of the past. We've lightened and brightened it up with your grays and such. A couple little things that I always say, they've added that lighted mirror over the vanity area. That's fantastic. They've made the bathrooms larger. To me, that alone says hallelujah. Love a larger bathroom on a ship. We've got our rounded corners on our beds so you don't knock yourself out when you're getting up in the middle of the night. And then, of course, all of our balconies, of course, look at the great space. You're going to have your chairs, and then, of course, you have a little table. If you want to dine out on your balcony, of course, you can do that as well. I always like to order room service. Why not? Lots of different spaces throughout the ship. I'm just going to scroll through some slides here to give you some updates of really look how beautiful of a job they've done in our public spaces. We've got our main dining room that was totally revamped. Guys, this was very dark, just like the staterooms, a lot of reds. Red must have been the color way back when, but they've really lightened it and brightened it up. I think this just looks like something out of a movie set. I love the ship because of that beautiful, in the back of the ship there, you've got all that glass. That is absolutely fabulous. And this is a 2-story dining room. And on Celebrity, you do have that option of a traditional dining, first seating, second seating, or you can dine whenever you like, and we call that select dining. So you get your options. The Ocean View Cafe was totally revamped. You're going to see a little bit more stations than we've had in the past. We've added some high top seating. They've done a beautiful job of laying this out. It's absolutely beautiful. And then the Rendezvous Lounge, guys, if you could see the before picture of the Rendezvous Lounge, this is probably the lounge with the biggest difference. It was dark, it was red, it was really sort of dreary. Now they've lightened it up, brightened it up. It is welcoming, it's inviting. You're going to have bands here at night. You might want to stop here, do a little swirl around the dance floor before dinner. They'll have trivia in here in the afternoon, lots going on, so you got to check your daily program, but this is a popular spot throughout the cruise. Sunset Bar, another favorite spot of mine. This is where one of the first places I go when I get on the ship. Got to have my first cocktail. And this is fun. I mean, it's outdoor. They'll have some bands out here. Usually maybe some guitarists or soloists will be out here in the evenings around the sunset time, which is a lot of fun. So, and of course you get to see the wake of the ship, which is fun. And then the casino. We've revamped all of our casinos, guys. We encourage you, or I would encourage you to go to the casino. It'll help pay for my paycheck, of course. I always say when I go into the casino, I'm making my daily donation to the cruise line. I don't seem to ever win in the casino, but who knows? Somebody wins some of the time, I suppose. But it's a lot of fun. And then, of course, our shops. They've really revamped a lot of this. Doesn't this look like more like an Apple store? We are the actually only Apple reseller at sea. We do have an Apple store, but they've done a great job of really making everything light and bright. I think light and bright is sort of the word of the presentation, because they've done a nice job of revamping everything. Our spa, of course, we've got a beautiful spa. We've got our Persian garden area, relaxation. You can do your saunas. There's all of our treatment rooms have been revamped. And then, of course, we've got our barbershop and our hair salon, of course. You can get your nails done and get whatever you like. So overall, they've done a fantastic job of revamping the ship, and I just wanted to share some of those good old photos with you. So that brings us really to the end of the presentation. I didn't want to go too long, but I wanted to give you guys sort of a little bit of a feel of what Bermuda has to offer, as well as what Celebrity taking you to Bermuda has to offer. So hopefully we've done a good job as far as getting you a little bit feel. In the lower right-hand corner, I'll just take a note. That's just a photograph that I took from the ship, looking out at King's Wharf. So, just how beautiful all the boats that are docked there. There's the Clock Tower Mall there. And guys, I've probably got some of the best pictures of sunsets anywhere in the world that I've been. I've gotten some of the best photographs there in Bermuda. So I hope you get to go to Bermuda and experience the islands just the way I get to experience the islands. I love it, and I hope you will love it as well. So I'm going to ask Brian to come on board and see if anybody has any good questions for me, and to see what's going on. See what questions can I answer for everybody.
So, Kim, you did an unbelievable job, and I have to tell you, I've been to Bermuda. I sailed with Celebrity, and I can't wait to go back. You hit it out of the park on both counts, as far as I'm concerned. So, you made me remember how wonderful Bermuda is, and my experience with Celebrity as well. I do have to say, you did a great job. I do not have any questions that have come in. I think you painted a beautiful picture of the island, and of course, the service on Celebrity is second to none. So great experience there. I would like to remind everybody of the additional $100 savings per booking that we're offering from AAA, and that's in addition to the promotions and sales savings that Celebrity has going on. There's AAA vacation amenities that people are entitled to when booking certain sailings with shipboard credit and priority check-in. So our agents are well versed with the product. They've been on Celebrity, they've been to Bermuda. So let's turn those dreams into a reality. I think when we're open back up and we can start to travel, people can arrange those vacations and know that it's set, know you have the best pricing and the availability. So when you're ready, we're here, but do call one of our travel consultants, and we're not physically in our offices, but we're working every day on all of your behalf. So give us a call, and let's turn some of those dreams into reality. So with that, I'd like to thank you, Kim, for a great job. And we appreciate that. And thank you to all our listeners. Again, any questions, feel free to reach out to any one of our travel consultants.
Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.